Okay, so first question, what did you notice? What did you notice? What about the play was interesting, strange, revealing, or meaningful? To be specific. So right off the bat, before starting in Act 1, it is stated that the play takes place in the very near future, then 7 years after that, then 75 years after that, all three of the acts. Then it says that the clothing is supposed to look brand new in the first scene. This was a little strange to me when I first heard it because I know that it's about a catastrophic event, and there's no electricity, and I assume that's because of what happened. But everyone's in all brand new clothes. In my mind, I'm picturing a lot of chaos, fire, and everyone panicking. And then them having perfectly new and clean clothes is just a little weird to me. Then separately from that, I would say that I'm a pretty big fan of The Simpsons, so that I think it's cool that they're incorporated into the play. So the two concerns or values that I picked, the first one was food, finding food. In Act 1, they're all hungry, and they mentioned how they found some cans of food, but that they're running low and they don't know how they're going to get more in the future. And then the second example for that is in Act 3, they're talking about how they were able to trade some of their costumes and props for food, which shows they're still struggling to find food even after 75 years. And the second concern that I chose was shelter. And the first one for that is in Act 1, they talked about how hard it was to find a cave that was able to protect them from all of the radiation right after the catastrophe. And then in Act 2, the second example, in Act 2, they were telling other survivors about how they had to move pretty frequently to protect themselves from all the radiation again. For this prompt, choose something that you circled while reading during the play that you didn't completely understand. I did early in Act 1, Matt is talking, and he says the word blase, B-L-A-S-E, with one of those little squiggles at the top. And then he says, when talking about the story, that occurs when talking about the story from The Simpsons. I didn't know what this word is, so I looked it up. It means unimpressed because you have seen it so many times before. Knowing what this word means helps me to better understand the story that he's telling. What do you think Mr. Burns says about the value of theater or the value of television? I said, I think that he says they are both very valuable when talking about the emotions and feelings. I think that theater can be used as a way of expressing yourself without deliberately saying what's on your mind. An example of the value of television from the play is how the characters cope with the situation, in part through all of the episodes about The Simpsons. Why do you think humans are compelled to tell stories? What does storytelling do for the characters in the play? So that's similar to my answer from the last question. I think that telling stories is important for coping with different situations, whether it be a story from real life or a story from a made-up TV show or a movie. It's a way to find something familiar with the situation that you are in. The characters in the story do this with The Simpsons. And then two questions that I posed to my peers to discuss. Are there any other movies or TV shows that you can think of that you could substitute in for The Simpsons and the play would still work? And then, what was the biggest theme that you saw during the play?